Howdy, Tumbleweed here. Hopefully, I tempted you enough with my recent videos that you've ordered your copy of Nicholas Dunn, The Making of a Texas Legend. Today, I've got another excerpt for you. I've shared a bit of the dangers, such as from rattlesnakes, as well as the joy found in Christmas celebration. But another serious threat on the rough frontier that was the Nueces Strip was Comanche Indians. Nicholas Dunn had gained a reputation as an Indian fighter while droving cattle to market, but it's different, personal, if you will, when your very home is attacked. Yeah, I'm pleased to share a brief excerpt of such an encounter from Nick Dunn's biography. Now Bert, that was short for Bertram, stirred in the corral as the rays of the sun bore down, warming his ample coat and taking away the morning chill. He turned as if to fully absorb the warmth and flicked a couple flies with his tail. Bert. He was my prized longhorn breeder bull. He likely weighed a tad more than 1,600 pounds and sported a horn span of better than 8 foot tip to tip. He could be right friendly, but you didn't want to get between him and a cow when it was mating season. I was hanging by the corral gate alongside the water trough and prepared to feed the big guy. He was his normal docile self, a condition that belied the raw power he possessed. Bert suddenly stuck his nose straight up, flared his nostrils, dropped his head, and bellowed. I heard horses galloping behind me and reflexively dropped behind the water trough. I slipped off my hat and cautiously poked my head above the edge of the trough. Thump! The arrow stuck in the fence post inches from my head. A second whizzed under my elbow and a third whooshed past my ear. The air was pieced with all manner of whooping and yelling. Dust flew everywhere. Andrea and Nellie, stay in the house. By the time I'd unholstered my revolver, another arrow went clean through my shirt sleeve and nicked my arm as I dove even lower behind that water trough. More arrows hit the trough and whizzed by my ear. With the noises of war whoops and horses' hooves, it seemed as though an entire tribe had descended on us. Obviously, these savages just weren't aware of my cattle drive exploits. I knew Andrea Ann would have the sense to grab a rifle and stay under cover in the house, but I wondered whether my daughter Nellie might peek out and be in harm's way. I didn't need her showing off for her brothers and sisters. And by now I'd counted at least 6 Comanche warriors and had managed to seriously wound at least one. From my experience fighting them, I right quickly figured out they were Comanche by the way they rode as one with their ponies, the broad black war paint stripes that swept menacingly across their faces, and the elaborate nature of the regalia they wore. They'd been shooting arrows at me, but none had as yet come close enough to count coup, the practice of showing bravery by touching their enemy and running off before returning for the kill. From the stories we had heard, there was no way I could permit my family to be taken captive. As I described earlier, Comanche torture was legendary in its horror. There was no way I'd let him take my wife and little ones. This was a fight to the death. By my way of thinking, it would be theirs. Now Dunn's description of the Comanche attack continues. How might you have handled such an attack? So to learn the outcome, well, I urge you to experience this slice of the life of a true Texan by purchasing your copy of Nicholas Dunn, The Making of a Texas Legend. It's available online in print, audio, or ebook from Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and directly from my publisher at defiancepress.com. Y'all also might want to read or listen to my first 3 Tumbleweed sagas, Nueces Justice, Nueces Reprise, and Nueces Deceit. And my 4th saga, Nueces Blood, well, that's due out come February. As the weather cools, turn up in an easy chair and let your imagination come alive with this biography of Nicholas Dunn. Get inspired. Meanwhile, y'all do take care.